Alright, gentlemen, it is day 470 of trying to become a millionaire. I want to record this video ahead. It's probably going to be uploaded on Monday, but there is this one problem with my mind, is that I have too many things happening all at the same time, and when the idea comes in, I better record it right away. So in the previous video of day 469, I couldn't manage to talk about what do I want to do and what is my plan and everything about it. Like, I'm just a random guy standing in his dad's granddad's courtyard, or whatever you call it, yard, and talking about how he is planning to get rich by just learning 5 languages and stuff like that. But that's not quite the case, although I do have a little bit of a fear of failing. Not gonna lie, as probably anyone else out there, there is nothing really guaranteed. Again, that's the problem with business. There is nothing really guaranteed. That there are certain things which I know are 100% right, but regarding business, regarding outreach, regarding marketing, and this, when it comes to more unsure things which you cannot measure, and they don't really have like a timeline, just like those things which you don't know how they're going to turn out. I still want to talk about them, and I will try my best to kind of like sell you this idea, because in the previous video that wasn't the best version of me trying to pitch the idea and like trying to talk about this thing. Okay, so here's the thing. We have 2.5 to 3 months of period of time left for me and my co-founder, until the May of 2026 is going to begin. And let me explain why May of 2026 is our deadline. Well, as like any 18-year-old out there, a lot of 18-year-olds out there, let me kind of fix it. I did not manage to become a millionaire by the age of 18, or any financially successful, or I didn't get to 10K, I didn't get to 5K, I didn't move out. None of that happened. In Asian culture, I don't think you're going to move out of your family, because I do live in Central Asia. Even if you make $100,000 a month, so that's not quite the argument right here. So as you might have guessed at what I'm going, my parents, my mom, made me to go to college, because it's a safe path, and my business wasn't making me money, so I didn't have any proofs to bake myself. It was just vague promises to my mom that everything is going to work out. But her only single argument was that, well, you can do this thing and you can do that, your own thing, all at the same time, or after you graduate. So just go to college for the sake of going to college, etc, etc, etc. And as you might have guessed, I didn't go to Harvard, I didn't go to Yale, I didn't go to any of these great universities. It's just a local university which is not even in top 1000 ranked in the world. It's a Tashkent State University of Economics. So Tashkent is a city in country called Uzbekistan, which is also located in Central Asia, but we're gonna talk about this later. So I am in college, and my next semester is going to begin in May. The previous one was in January, so from January 1st to January 30th I was in college, and now I have only 3 months until the next semester is going to begin, to do all what I want, like genuinely, like anyway, And so where do I say, like, me and my co-founder have a business, we have an agency. You probably have watched the previous video. Even if you haven't, there is no magic in this thing. Like, you know, it's a very primitive sort of a business of an 18-year-old. I am only becoming rich, and then after we become rich, then we will do something fancy, I guess. Non-fancy, boring agency style business, making websites for clients. And on the way to our first 1K MRR, we in 2025 we had one client paying us 400 MRR for retainering, and his retainer was 6 months. Okay, 5 months of retaining. And in 2026 we sort of they decided to take some time off, and our hope with me and my co-founder is that we are going to do certain actions. We're going to take certain actions in order to in this 3 months of period to just upgrade ourselves like a monster in some sense, and work on this business like a maniac. We have clear things that we want to do, but as I have mentioned in a previous video, if you have watched it, that I actually said it in this video anyway, business never gives you guarantees. And I am going to be showing you certain things, and yeah, I'm afraid of sounding vague, but anyway, let me try. So my life right now, and probably, as I said, for the next 3 months, is going to be consisting of 2 to 4 different core areas I am going to be focusing upon, right? The number one, okay, I have a text here called What Pressure, but don't pay attention to this. So computer science, CS, Harvard scores, this is the number one. Number two is content making, YouTube long and Instagram for shorts. And what is next? 3 dots and what is next, because this is the stage 1 and we haven't yet crossed stage 1. I only started making short videos on Instagram, long videos on YouTube, and it's been only 1 day, literally 1 day, since I started learning computer science. So take a look here, Harvard Computer Science 50. I had only 1 day when I studied computer science, so we are only like rolling this ball, and we should be a lot better version of ourselves by the end of February, inshallah. So why Harvard CS 50? Well, I think I haven't talked about this thing. This is not primarily a business thing in some sense. This is something which corresponds to the business that we're doing. We are not a SMMA agency, but rather a website building and a software agency in some sense. So the client that I talked about in a previous year that we had, we first signed them in order to make a website. Right, we first signed them in order to make a website, and then they also signed up with us to work on SEO and organic content for their social media. Obviously, me and my co-founder, are a lot better in making beautiful and nice websites than in SEO and organic content. So we did what we could. We still earned money from making a website and the monthly retainer, but we are pretty shitty in our service, and getting better in our craft is the way we're going to break out of poverty. Okay, in a very simple terms, I hope you understood. So computer science, and in the future, hopefully we're going to upgrade into mechanical engineering, so mechanics and software together. But for now, software is the way to go about it, right? And then number 2 is content. So organic content, what I'm doing right now, I'm doing on Instagram. And the next stage for us is to start making a podcast, okay, in which we are going to be inviting our ideal clients. So first we have to work on our personal brand so that guests are going to come to our podcast, and then we have to send out a bunch of DMs to people who might want to work with us, right? Entrepreneurs, business owners, etc., and invite them to our podcast, and that way get to know each other much better, right? Without selling them anything, just getting to know each other, becoming friends. And then I think, and I at least hope, after a certain meetups, after a certain talks that we're going to have with a bunch of people, some people should convert into leads, and from leads to ending up being clients, inshallah. Well, because that is the most qualifying way, or the highest quality of leads we're going to have this way. Because in other ways, like you send out DMs on Instagram, you send out cold emails, you send out cold calls, you make cold calls, or whatever the outreach method you can name, the touching point with a person is very weak because it's digital. It's it's kind of it's not real in some sense, right? You can send a Loom video, but again, like, person has to click it, person has to sit and watch it. But when you invite them as a guest, it works even better if you're physically with them somewhere. But we do not have this luxury, so we're using what we have, and what we have is we can invite them on a podcast, we can invite them on an interview, give them great questions, get to know them, and off the podcast, off the interview, in the background, tell them what do we do, who we are, and maybe get curious about their problems and stuff like that, so that maybe we can later help them to solve their problem. Okay, you get where am I going? And I mean, so that's what you see here, the stage number 3, content for builders pod. So the podcast name is Builders. I think we already have an account for it. You can search it up. But yeah, these are the 3 main categories we're going for now. And here is something very interesting which I want to include in this specific video. So at the very bottom, you see this text, and I want to read it to you. So inshallah, before college, making some money with this business, so that in summer we can meet up in UAE, and maybe it will be our older client or a new client, doesn't really matter, inshallah, just to have a client. Location Abu Dhabi, UAE. This is the ideal scenario, and once more, inshallah. So for those of you who don't speak Arabic, inshallah means with God's will. So we are hoping that God's plan is going to be the same as our plans in some sense. And yeah, so that's what I was trying to say, ladies and gentlemen. Like, at the very beginning, I was thinking of, what if we go to UAE before month of May, but we have only 3 months, and we haven't saved up almost anything yet. And so yeah, we need a little bit more time, get a little bit better in our craft using that time that we have as well. But the number one thing, using that time, we have to make more money, obviously. Like this, in order to be able to afford in many ways this next level, we have to earn more money. We have to earn money from this business. We cannot afford to get another 9-to-5 job like we used to do before. So ladies and gentlemen, inshallah, alhamdulillah, we're going for this business for the next months, for the next 3 months, very hard. Our wish and hope is that making money and making it as in general with this business, and after the months of May, probably ripping and soaping what we have planted.